Welcome to WebStylePress. CSS is always evolving and improving. We can do a lot of amazing stuff with CSS only now. CSS has some very useful functions that you may be using without even realizing it. Take example of CSS gradients. CSS gradients let you display smooth transitions between two or more specified colors. We have CSS linear gradients, CSS repeating linear gradients, CSS radial gradients, CSS conic gradients, CSS repeating conic gradients. We can create pie charts, color wheels, beautiful backgrounds, repeating patterns, and much more by using only CSS gradients. I have few divs here. We will style each div by using different CSS gradients. I have applied width, height, and border radius CSS properties to some divs to save some time. One CSS code block for each div from this HTML. Repeat linear, radial, pie chart, color wheel, raise, burst, sunburst 2. Okay, do you remember old backgrounds with repeating lines in websites? Here is how we do it in CSS. Background, repeating linear gradient. And this is a function. 45 degree. Ten pixels. This is the result. This last one is the size. In this gradient example, we used repeating lines of two colors at a certain angle. 45 degree, 90 degree, 180 degree, 70 degree, you can play around with the values to get desired result. Then we have simple linear gradient. Background, simple linear gradient. This is also a function. To right, first color, second color, third color. Save. We can use direction for this gradient. We can specify as many colors in it as we like. We can even use RGBA values in it. To right, to left, to top. This is better. Then we have radial gradients. Background, radial gradient. Inside it, I am using 3 values. Then we have conic gradients. Let me create a pie chart and then I will explain what is conic gradient. Background, conic gradient. Color 1, 120 degree. Color 2, starting from 120 degree to 240 degree. Color 3, starting from 240 degree, and that's it. I have a typo here. Background. So this is our pie chart by using three colors. In a circle, we started a color at 0 to 120 degree. 120 multiplied by 3 is 360, right? 360 will complete our circle. So three colors were three equal shapes in circle. Color 1 starts from 0 to 120 degree. Color 2 starts from 120 degree and ends at 240 degree. Color 3 starts from 240 degree and ends where first color started. So what is conic gradient? Conic gradient is similar to radial gradient. Both are circular and use the center of the element as the source point for the color steps. However, color steps of radial gradient emerge from the center of the circle, and conic gradient places color stops around the circle. One emerges from the center, other one moves around circle. Conic gradients rotate color stops around the central point rather than radiate from the central point like the radial gradient. Conic gradient color stops are placed around the circumference of the circle. We can also draw a beautiful color wheel by using CSS conic gradient. Background, conic gradient. Yellow, lime, blue, violet, red, yellow. By using conic gradient function and using few colors inside this function, we are able to create a beautiful color wheel by using only CSS. We just used several colors in conic gradient CSS function to create a beautiful color wheel. Not just shapes, but by using repeating conic gradient, we can also create amazing background patterns like rays of light. Background, conic gradient. We used conic gradient. Now we will use repeating conic gradient. It should be at 7.5 degree from 7.5 degree at 50% and then 0. So it should be at 7.5 degree and starts from top center. Transparent 0, 15 degree. One color is transparent and at 15 degree. Then our main color should be gold 0, 30 degree. Okay, from 7.5 degree at 50%. If I change it to 0%, then you can see the change. If I use it like 100%, here's the change. Let's use 50. And if I change this 0 to 50%, then you can see the change in the direction or in the center point. Let's use 0. So one color is transparent. You can choose to use any other color. Let's say like black. And we can also create full rays emerging from center. Rays burst. Background repeating conic gradient. And we have got our two colors. One is at 50 degree and one is at 30 degree. Two colors at two angles. And in this gradient we use direction, but here we did not use direction, we just used colors and angles. So this is emerging from the center. And here is another variation: background, repeating conic gradient, two different colors at two different degrees, and here is the result. So there is a lot you can do with CSS gradients. For example, look at this, just a div here, and we are using repeating conic gradient at body, and then for that div, radial gradient. Two gradients have been applied to create this amazing pattern. It is using two colors, gold and white, and then gold and transparent. So gold and white, two colors are being used here. Those can be changed. This background can be used as YouTube video thumbnails background, and I am using it. Just change colors, take a screenshot, crop 1280 by 720 pixels area and use as background for any thumbnail image. I will link this in video description. Let me show you another great example. Look at this beautiful gradient example. This is day and night animation by using CSS gradients. Well, for animation, Marty has used JS, some JavaScript here. But for the visuals, these are CSS gradients. Great inspiration by Marty. And look at this. This is day. And here is our sun. And it's sunset. And now this is night. Isn't it amazing? So yeah, experiment with CSS gradients. You will amaze yourself with results. Okay, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.